Audio test. Audio test. How's it going, everyone? Gonna be doing a little bit of lockbox gambling today on the Tribble test server. So these are, once again, not like I'm not spending $1,000. I'm using keys that were previously copied over to the Tribble test server, and my intention for this today is that I want to just get an updated idea on how the drop rate changes over time with Infinity as new things are added in, and there has been a handful of additions since the last opening. Elijah, thank you for the membership. Dick Lord, Dark Ghost, how's it going? Elijah, thank you again, man. Richard. So I'm gonna go through, copy keys over through my my bank here. Again, this is on the Tribble test server. This is not on live. This is entirely with keys that are, I guess you could say, fake. So even though I'm saying this, someone's still going to go in the comment section afterwards and be like, I can't believe you spent, $1,000. And just at this point, if people don't get that this is on Tribble, I don't know what to say. JP, how's it going? Elijah with the 20, thank you very much. Very much appreciated. Let me know if the audio is coming through fine too, because I once again changed the audio setup a little bit. Voyager, Waldo, how's it going? Yeah, I think for a couple videos that I may have done in the past couple of weeks, my audio was turned down a little bit low, so I've bumped things up a little bit. Have I got the event set yet? No, I get it tomorrow. Well, once I do the daily today, I should be like a day away. Okay, I'm gonna do 1,000 keys once again. What's that? I think that's 1,000. Let me move these down. I'll take a look at chat here in a second. Yeah, 1,000. So the reason I'm doing the Infinity opening again is because I just want to get an idea of how the drop rates may change over time. The last time that I opened the Infinity lockbox was probably about a month and a half, 2 months ago on a stream, and basically every time they add new items into the Infinity lockbox, there's a concern that maybe the drop rates are impacted over time. So I just want to keep a track on that. So I'm gonna do chat log 1, so I can take a look at things afterwards. Let's gamble on the results of Sab's 1K gamble. Oh no. Yeah, I don't remember what the last drop rates were, and to be honest, I never went through after that stream and got everything done, but you guys can at least see the inventory here, and maybe I'll get something together at some point just to show how the drop rates are going down over time. So I'm gonna do this all manually here. And I hate when it does that, where it puts the text over the... I gotta find this different spot here. There we go. The question is, how many ships do you guys think I'm gonna get? The average would probably be about 4 ships per 1,000. And if I'm lucky, I might, get a 5th. If I get more than 5, then I just had really good RNG for this opening. If I have less than 4, then I got screwed over. 100 in, and no ship yet. Just keep in mind, like, you know, we talked about this game's monetization just being terrible, but you think that each one of these keys they would charge like $100 for, or a dollar for. I just realized my YouTube overlay wasn't working. There we go, or wasn't turned on. So each of these keys is a dollar per, right? So if I'm opening 1,000 here, that's literally like $1,000. Yeah, the expected range would be realistically, yeah, somewhere between 3 to 5, with 4 being the average you would hope for. Question is, how many in is it going to take to get the first ship here? We're almost at 250, almost a quarter of the way in, and still no ship. I actually am getting more Borg off packs so far than ships, which is different from the last time. So 300 keys in now. Keep in mind that 300 keys is literally $300 and there's still no ship. And if you know, if you go and just sell your keys on the exchange, you can go through and pick up most ships for about 100 keys per on the actual in-game exchange. So this is one of the reasons people don't recommend you gamble, because this is literally $300 worth of keys that I've done so far, and I haven't gone a single ship. Yeah. Emma, how's it going? Martin, huh. Yeah, Martin's feeling the pain here. So I should clarify that I am expecting to get a ship very soon here. There is going to be, or I am basically right at the pity point now. So for the first 304 or 306 boxes you open, somewhere right around there, your chance to get a ship is 0.29%. And once you have hit the pity point at like the 304 mark or whatever, it will then increase the drop rate of the ship to 2.9%, which still, you know, it basically means I'm about to get a ship. Very, very shortly. So, pity point is now reset. So the first ship was 325 boxes in. So yeah, that's pretty rough. So I'm just gonna put that on the calculator here. The first ship took 325 boxes. That's rough. And right now I have 600 and so 675. Now I'll keep but the next time I get a ship, I'm gonna subtract how many are remaining from this just to see how many boxes it was between the ships here. Rob, thank you for the membership, man. Bang, how's it going? And Dari? Will I have another go that goes to the pity point? That's the real question I have today. Again, it's possible for any of these boxes I open to be a ship. The drop rate is 0.29%. But it likes to take its time and can be quite a pain. McStud, thank you for the 5 gifted, man. And happy birthday. For everyone who hasn't seen yet, it is McStud's birthday. So happy birthday, man, and thank you for that. Yeah, Voyager, you can watch that video I put up on the members only video going over the method I used to go through and get 2 billion EC. I went from 0 to 2 billion. Oh, there's the second ship. That one didn't take as long, so I have 540, 543. So that one took 132 boxes to get. So now I have 543. Subtract how many boxes are left after that. Yeah, I got lucky there. Now, how long does the third ship take? Because you guys saw that first one took over 300. Like I had to hit the pity point in the first one. So how have you been doing, stud? How's that Destiny 2 been going? You're missing all the engaging stow content. Like this really nice new TNG bundle. It's very immersive. And yes, I am opening all these lockboxes manually. So out of the first, or we're almost at 700 boxes opened. So I'm at 300 keys left out of the 1,000, and I've gotten 2 ships so far. So $700 to get 2 ships. So if you're ever curious why people do actually go out and buy these MUDs bundles, this is why. It's because to get just one of these lockbox ships or one of these promo ships can easily cost you more than what this entire, even the mega bundle, can cost. Like that first ship that I got here it took 325 keys. 325 keys is $325. At that point, if that ship is part of a mega bundle or a choice pack, it's better off to just get the MUDs bundle, because as part of the MUDs bundle, it's going to be available to you account wide and reclaimable. So that's why people do actually buy these MUDs bundles, because the lockbox system and the gambling in this game is just terrible. At least you can open your own DOF Academy now. Yeah. Oh no. STO in-game OnlyFans channel? Oh no. Sean, I copied them over from Holodeck. So just to clarify also, the last ship that I got was like 460 boxes in, and it is, I'm approaching 300 boxes since then, so I am near the pity point again, and I am about to get another ship. Probably in the next 30 to 40 boxes, the next ship will appear. Definitely at the pity point now. Any one of these is going to be a ship. There we go. So that was at 219 left. For minus 219. That one took 324. So I have 219 boxes or box or keys left. I did click one after I got the ship, so the question is now, will I get a ship out of the last 219? I would hope so, but it's, it's not guaranteed. The STO pity system here doesn't even come into effect until over 300 boxes opened. And it's per character. That's why a lot of people say to just open everything on one character, because it was data mined a couple years back while the gateway was still a thing. That there was a way to expose your player profile, and people pulled that data from it to see that the lockboxes were per character. Yeah, people say Star Citizen is expensive. Yeah. I would need to get a fourth ship to have like the average odds that I usually get. So if we don't see a fourth T6 ship pop up here, that's going to be a really bad opening. I don't think there's going to be another ship. Just the feeling I got. I mean, 20 boxes left. One key left. Is it a ship? Nope. So again, I'll just restate the obvious here, and that is that you should not gamble in this game. Um, people complain quite a bit about the lockbox monetization approach and then the MUDs bundles. I look at the lockbox monetization, and this is like, you compare the MUDs bundles to this, and the MUDs bundles are just such a better deal. I got screwed? Yeah. Is it on Tribble? Yes. Yes, of course. I missed a couple comments here. Yeah. 3 ships out of 1,000 boxes. Yeah. You got the Deimos bundle, but you got 100 keys? Oh no. I mean, at least you got a ship box out of it and a 42. Yeah, and Cryptic says the system is fine. Yeah. Oh no. I think I'm at, for me, I definitely haven't crossed like 3 in Stowe. I think I might be, I think the last time I looked at it, I was probably around like 2,300 that I've spent on Stowe since 2012. But keep in mind, for me, is I had my account set up for doing the contraband stuff for a long time. So looking at the I'm gonna put these lock boxes in the bank quick, just so I can just have this stuff in my inventory. There. Okay. What I find really interesting from this, and I don't know how many of you noticed, but I got 2 of these Borged off packs very early on, like before I got the first ship. And after I got the first ship, I literally did not get a single Borg doff pack after that. Out of 1,000 boxes, $1,000 worth of lock boxes, I got 2 Borg doff packs. Oh no. Phoenix Foundation. Thank you, man. Well, glad to help. Is farming Contraband still worth it for getting the lithium? Absolutely. Contraband is still also, like, if you have a KDF character and you go do marauding in sector space, that is legitimately one of the best ways to still go out and to, like, get EC free to play. Like, doing marauding on Klingon characters in sector space, farming Contraband, you can still sell that pretty well. What's Contraband at right now? Contraband is currently at 54k per unit, so you get a full stack of it. That's, about 14 mil. We take a look at chat here. Yeah, Star Citizen, I've messed around a little bit in. I need to reinstall it though, because I just reinstalled Windows a couple weeks back. Billy, how's it going? Yeah, that's definitely true. Like the alternative to this monetization approach with lockboxes is to have like a subscription based model. And I know people have said that, Stowe should have one, but the thing is, what people saying that may not realize is that that's what Stowe had initially. And Stowe went free to play and swapped to this lockbox monetization approach because it brings more money in for them. And honestly, I think if this game were still on a subscription model, I don't think it would still be around. I I think that the game, and I don't like saying this, but I don't think the game is at a quality level right now where you could justify everyone needing to pay a subscription to play it, because the amount of things that are just released broken. Every time something comes out on a ship, it's something's broken. You know, I just don't think the game at this age is at a quality level, at the polish level where it would have survived if it was just subscription only. Okay, so I'll just show this one more time. This is the results of opening 1,000 lock boxes on the triple test server. Not really that good. Three ships out of 1,000 boxes. So that's pretty rough. Like just three ships. That's $333 per ship, basically. I mean, the thing is that they make more money with this current approach, and they aren't dealing with bugs and issues. They're not QA testing a lot of these things that comes out. It feels like every time a new ship comes out, something's broke about it. In fact, good example, the Gordon ship. I think I have that on one of these characters. The the new Gorn ship that just came out. That trait, we're 2 weeks in, and that is still broken under fire at will. Now it has apparently been fixed internally, because I asked Cryan about a day or so back, and he said it's been fixed internally. But it's just there's so many things that shouldn't make it live, especially on ship things, like ship related items. Just feels like those don't get enough testing. Yeah, Cryptic does not have an army of developers, and with with the way Stowe's going, it seems like the team's decreasing in size while getting an increased workload. Okay, so I have complex plasma fires on this legendary Valdor build. Just a bunch of random plasma beam arrays here. And what I want to do is turn fire at will on and just show, well, let me show what it's supposed to be like first. So here's without fire at will and the beam hitting the target. You you see that each shot is applying one stack of the buff here. So let me increase this UI scale. You can see that there's 4 stacks of the trait there on the target. Now, if I were to hit fire at will, and I fire these beams, look at the stacks. It's a lot more stacks than this trait is supposed to be doing. So basically, the issue with the Gorn trait is that under fire at will, it's applying a stack of the plasma proc for every single shot out, whereas it's only supposed to apply 1 stack per firing cycle per target. So it's putting out a lot more stacks of this than it's supposed to. Because the stack should not be building up that fast. Is this test server opening? Yeah, the test server should be open pretty much all the time. If you're on PC. There's no restrictions on it right now. I have missed a few things in chat, so let me drag this over. Yeah, the Gemini, the prototype blade of Geminites are also a good thing to grind if you can do those. Let's see. Yeah, if Stowe went to a subscription model, it just would not work. Polish level of this game is honestly around 120 grit. Yeah, it's it's not at a quality level where they could justify charging people 10, 15 bucks a month for it. Is the Herald Infinity ship any good? Well, there's a couple of Infinity Herald ships. There's the Quas and the Vomp. The Vomp is a decent ship. I mean, it's not super amazing, but it can still work. The Quas is a little bit more iffy. It's not necessarily good, but I mean, if you wanna make it work, I imagine you can find something for it. Yeah. Yeah. If this game wasn't Star Trek, it would have died a very long time ago. Yeah, we are the QA testers. Damn. It's a conspiracy grim to make us need to upgrade our GPUs. Yeah, console players do get screwed over with their lifetime. The lifetime on PC nets you 500 Zen a month, but if you're on console, it doesn't have that, which just really decreases the value quite significantly of the lifetime. Yeah. Yeah, and again with that new Star Trek game, Resurgence there, for the cost of this new Muds bundle, like I was talking about in the recent video, you could buy Resurgence and then all 12 Star Trek games over on GOG for the same cost as the cheapest Muds bundle. Have I tested trauma response trait from the Noble? Um, Thank you for the $5 there again, Kalijah. But it is still partially broken from what I understand. I think that they're aware of it. Um, I know they went through and fixed the EPTS issues with that or tried to fix it with that trait and some of the other traits that interact with emergency power to shields, but I haven't really tested it too much since the fix went live, but I know that it still is somewhat broken. Let's see. Yeah. Greg, how's it going? Yeah, I agree, Chiaps, to an extent. Voyager, no, that's terrible. Even if I include that the gambling is happening on Tribble, people still ask, why I spent $1,000. Like, you guys that have been around a little bit are gonna know that. But even if I put that in the title or right in the description up at the top, people still ask. Is Lifetime cheaper on console by like $50 too, I think. Like I think when it goes on sale on console, it's like $100 or something. So maybe a console player here can correct us, but it it's still expensive for what it is. You have to be really into the game to go for the lifetime on console because you're basically just getting it for all of the inventory space. It's $150. So it on sale is as expensive as the PC one is during the 50% sales. That is rough. Still gives you shield pen when you shield heal yourself. Yeah. Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. Well, I'm gonna head back into the game here, so I'm gonna head off of Tribble and go over to the main server and get my dailies done. Let's see here. I need to do 2 Jupiter patrols quick. Let's start the combat log. Bars just started. Okay. Time to do... What ship am I in? I'm in a good one. In normal. Elijah, thank you again for the super chats there and the membership. Take care and have a good night. Demo, see you around. I still really want to get this this map put in to like SCM somehow if possible. I think this would be a really good solo DPS benchmark, or if not an SCM, like on the new parser if we can ever get it going. Because I think we really need to just transfer the main focus of DPS chasing over to solo benchmarks at this point. There's, outside of the coordinated issues, which have already prevented a lot of people from being able to actually compete, we're at a point where Thaleron runs are now happening. From what I understand, there was a Thaleron run just a couple hours ago that, had there not been like one loose sphere, it would have literally been over 10 million DPS and infected elite. So we're at a point where these team-based tables just are so far out of reach of most people that they're just not good, not good for people to be trying to compete against. In fact, I think the number was 14. Um, it just, yeah, it just, even at 3 mil, like this is issues like that have been around for a while. Like when the Torp DPS chase was really active and there were a lot of people competing in it, it was already really bad for the general, like DPS player base to really have a chance to compete there. you know, if you didn't have a team to do runs with, you were already unable to even compete near the top of the table. And if Thaleron, you know, starts to see adoption from even just a handful of people like that, the tables are no longer remotely reachable for a lot of people. I don't even feel like the Thaleron grind would be worth our time, to be honest, Rob.
Computer, in simulation. Excellent work. We'll analyze the data from this event and use it
Vern to rule them all.
defense protocol for Jupiter Station. Thank you for your
Rob, you bought the Maelstrom bundle yet there, buddy? But I think the like moving the focus over to solo environments would just be more would just be healthier for like the DPS chasing community long term, because it's going to enable a wider group of players to be able to go in and compete, whereas this team based environment that we're in, you know, if you can't get a team together, you're SOL. And then you look at what the requirements are to get involved with most teams. Like, most people don't want to set up a tank or support character, and in some cases it's understandable why, because you know that's expensive. But there very much is a mentality in those like support in the supported or coordinated run environment that if you're wanting to do those runs long term and you want people to you know regularly boost you up, that you have to also return the favor. Yeah, and having better servers would very much help, because it's frustrating to go in and try and do, you know, like ISE runs, but out of the couple hours you're doing them, you know, you might only have a handful of runs where the server is like properly responsive and everything is loading fine. Like it just is frustrating when it starts to lag in that environment. Sasa, how's it going? Sean, how long do I give this game in life? I think the game has plenty of life left to it, but it's just very clear to me as a longtime player of this game that in my opinion, the two peaks that this game had so far were the Legacy of Romulus to Delta Rising era. That's probably the most activity I've ever seen in this game. And after that, Victory's Life was probably the second biggest, you know, event in the game. But we are definitely not in a environment like we were during either of those times. Yeah, the game is definitely losing the MMO aspect. It's basically at this point the way that you need to approach Stowe is that it's not an MMO. You need to approach it like it's a single player game with, you know, a chat window for you to talk to other people and to a place where you can occasionally team up. Oh yeah, Picard has definitely brought some people back in, but without Picard related content, you know, I think that there's very much a large group of people who, you know, may have enjoyed Picard but may not have enjoyed Discovery, and seeing that a lot of the content, you know, from the past couple of years was Discovery related, that may be a turnoff to some of those people. Jay's in Space Theme Night. Oh yeah, I heard about that. Okay, so Endeavor-wise here, defeat Tholians on Nukara, destroy Tholian ships. Well, look at that. Crystalline Catastrophe is the universal endeavor. So Gonna do public queue, Crystalline Catastrophe Advanced if you want to join. Public queue. To be honest with you, Sean, as someone who runs a fleet and has also been involved with a few different fleets over the years, to me, the social side of this game basically died with Delta Rising, and even almost a decade later, I don't think the social side has ever recovered. Delta Rising pushed so many players out of this game because it increased difficulty. Cryptic had severe incompetence with how they handled things. With Delta Rising, that's where they introduced specialization points. And right after Delta Rising went live, they didn't like that players found ways to quickly grind specialization points. Most notably was that you could do patrols to get quite a bit of XP, which everyone knows nowadays. But people that were doing certain patrols ended up getting punished for playing those patrols and leveling too fast. Cryptic literally went through and punished players right after Delta Rising and rolled back progression on those players for leveling too fast. Cryptic's incompetence and the difficulty jump and a couple other things, like this game has never recovered from that time period. I see a Robin here. I'll catch up on chat here in a minute. Brilliant, how's it going? Universal Endeavor done, and somehow I did not get enough Tholian kills. They're all dead. Okay. Let me catch up on chat here. It's as many boxes as it takes to get an epic Phoenix token. You have to keep in mind that the average drop rate for Phoenix boxes is like $70 worth of dilithium if you're on PC. It would be a lot more if you're on console where the deluxe rate is different, but on PC and even on console, the average cost for a T6 epic token should be much lower than the average cost for a lockbox ship. What type of ship? Yeah, I don't know. All I know, and just to be fully transparent with you guys, as far as I'm aware, the Titan model has been in the game for like since Unraveled went live. So that's how we knew it was incoming, but we don't know like any further stats about it. But you just know that it's going to be a promo ship. You know they are not going to put that in the C store. I think Star Citizen does have issues still, clearly, but I do think it's a fun game to be able to just jump in and mess around in. So Brilliant, how's it going? Vice. Yeah, everyone plays Fed side. I prefer KDF. I specifically, my main is a Romulan tack, or Romulan tack that is aligned to the KDF side. I think that those of you who are like just legitimate long-time players of this game who want to be able to grind out some things easily for free in the game, it's wise to have Klingon characters. Like Klingons are the only ones that can access the marauding system, which is a set of DOF missions you can do in space that um, can get you contraband. So it's a good way to farm EC. Feds don't have access to it. Darth, I don't know. There's a lot of videos I want to do, and it that very much to be completely transparent, it's been finding a way to get through videos that doesn't like burn me out. Dark Eddie, I just saw your Discord message. Delta Rising was the best expansion ever, and the players loved it. Absolutely. Terrible. STO became Attack Federation Online. I mean, Cryptic has had like, 13 years to make engineers good in space, and they just haven't done it yet. Toxic Rob. Yeah, Klingons are definitely the way to go for long-term players, in my opinion. I get the reason, I understand why the majority of the player base is fed, but I think the other side has some really nice perks. Okay. Duran, how's it going? I know, Grim. ROM Alien pack is the best way. Rob, yes. I told you weeks ago. Rob, I want you to go look at the top parse right now on ISC, okay? Go look at Hansi's parse and look at how much damage he got from the Maelstrom torpedo. But Klingons have had everything for a while. Or had the like marauding since for a very long time. KDF also had some nice benefits with having access to some of the um, cheap like console and trait packs way back. Like you can still go and get like SAD for Klingons for 175 mil if you don't want to buy the ship on on a Fed. There should be DPRMs. You can buy the DPRM for a Klingon character for 565 mil. Romulans do have to get a different version of that to pack, unfortunately, but deadly dilithium explosion. Need a couple dozen. Interesting request. Remember their initial implementation was rough as hell? Yeah. Yeah, early on they definitely were not in a great spot. Yeah. I do need to go. Honestly, that's one thing that I have not been keeping up on is the contraband on my alts. Um, they've nerfed a lot of the keybinds, and there's a lot of things I just haven't been bothering with. Buy now. Let's see. Ruin, I don't know if you're watching, but I've got almost 200 of these things. Captain Wallace, how's it going? Yeah, so camp, that's part of my thoughts too, with like if I were to use like the Jupiter Patrol as like the new DPS test map, um I just think that would be more useful to the general player base than these team-based environments where you know, as is communication, the social aspect of this game has just been decreasing more and more over time. The random system has basically killed off the need for the DPS channels at this point, even to be honest. Um, it just I just don't think having team-based queues as the way to get into the higher channels, or to like see where you stand versus other players is good given just how things have developed. The history of Stowe. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of videos that I want to get done. I have a concept and write like I've been starting to write out a series of beginner guides, and I think my personal goal is to start pushing those out as early as next month. Where there would be my plan, my goal is to have at least one beginner focus guide each 1 to 2 weeks, because that's long-term content that helps me build a backlog of content that's going to be relevant long term. Fighting Spirit, how's it going? Yeah, and I think for me, like I definitely have, you know, points where I just get a little burnt out. You know, I think that'll happen to every creator. Um, and I think we're seeing that with a lot of Stowe creators right now. Is people are a little bit burnt out, and I think if I can have, you know, like content like that I've worked on ahead of time that I can release on a consistent basis, that would be beneficial. Yeah. I think the next 10 forward will be showing off the Titan, and I do again fully expect it to be promo. Okay. Let me just get Ruin the 50 boxes here quick. What was it he wanted? Deadly dilithium explosion. Am I blind? I think he's talking about the directed dilithium burn, but what do I think the summer ship will be? I would very much, you know, I think with all this recent Picard focus and, you know, this as seen on TNG, you know, I think bringing back, you know, like an old iconic ship, you know, maybe like Tamarian cruiser would be quite interesting hypothetically. Yeah, let me get these quick. Ruin wants 50 of these. I don't know what for, but that's, let's see, what do these even sell for? Like a mil per. Let me click open 50 of these things and hate my life. This is where I wish I had like tiny task on. This is one of the things with this game where it feels like they don't play some parts of it because like this user experience is just complete garbage. Like this user experience of doing this, like I wish there was an option to just right click, open all as, you know, to just get all these, but just this current implementation, you can just see how it just sucks. Okay. I'm gonna mail these all to him. He wants 50 of them. Daedalus from Stargate. Have they said what the trait for the Titan will be? No, they haven't even confirmed. I mean, technically, they haven't officially confirmed anything about the Titan, other than, you know, it will be in the game eventually. And the user interface just blows. Unboxing stream? I know. Mailing out 50 traits. By the way, just a quick reminder. There is a T6 coupon being given away in my Discord on it's PC only. And that giveaway ends in like 7 hours, so actually even less than that now. So if you're wanting a chance to win a T6 coupon, then I would highly recommend you go over there and enter that giveaway while it is still up. Imagine if I could just double click these to like put them in the mail, but I can't even do that because if you do that, it just opens them. Like, look, I can't click to put them in the mail. It's such a pain. This is engaging content, I know. Okay. I need to open the rest of these boxes until there's just 9 left. Do they play any part of the game? Yeah. You really wonder sometimes, like this recent exchange change, like it's just, let's be honest, this recent exchange change is just complete garbage. Like the fact that they haven't even commented publicly on it to say, you know, like, hey, we're aware that this really is not good right now. Um, you know, the fact that they haven't even, you know, done something like that, just it's annoying. Like you wonder, like I try to not be too negative with, you know, Kale or any of the associated issues there, but it's sometimes I wonder if he's relaying the feedback that we have about issues. Like it really, like some of these things that pop up, it just feels like they, you know, that should be things that they could quickly fix sometimes, and it just feels like they're not even made aware of the situation. Just got to get these mailed now. Almost there. 3 more. And you can't hit escape to close out of that window. Terrible. Wonder if we'll ever actually get an actual auto loot filter like is standard in all modern MMOs. Yeah, I do wonder that sometimes. Turn up the mic for some mouse clicking ASMR. Oh no. You see, for the exchange mail EC, I'm fine with the EC going to the mailbox, honestly. I'm perfectly content with that side of the change because it means that you can sell a ton of items and not need to worry about posting things up for, or like that would put you over the 2 bill cap. That side of it I'm perfectly personally content with, but it's the purchasing aspect of it that I think is just complete garbage. Like the fact that items I purchase I have to go to the mail to get, just garbage. I agree, Grim. There we go. I got 4,000 little nuts out of that. I'll take it. Okay, I gotta do the rest of my dailies. Okay, so I can go do that Archer patrol if I want to get this alien ship one done quick. What is my general verdict on the new content drop? I still haven't played the mission. Is that bad? I legitimately like I am so disengaged with the story side of things and the lore of the current story arcs that I just don't care about that part. That's not what I played this game for, and I know that sounds weird to a lot of people. I had a lot of people get very upset at me when I said that, um, said that I didn't care about the lore blog or the new TFO a couple weeks back. People got mad at me in the comment section. But we all have different things we play this game for. I play it because I like, flying around in these Star Trek ships. I like the combat mechanics. Um, I like just being able to fly around in whatever ship and, blow things up. I don't play it for the storyline, whereas you have other people who just play it for the story and they don't care, about going in and like working on their build or things like that. So for me, I feel like overall I was a little bit underwhelmed with this new content drop because traditionally content drops and new seasons would also have some sort of like system change, or something that's going to change the gameplay a little bit. But in this case, there wasn't. Like the system change that they made was this exchange change, and if we're being honest, they half-assed it. They didn't implement it fully in a way that is user friendly. Like all they would have had to have done is put in a button in the mail to make it so we could claim all items, with just a click of that button. But they couldn't even do that. And from what I understand, other games, other MMOs that have a mailbox or have their exchange mails go to the mailbox, a lot of those typically also have a button that will let you just claim everything in one go. Picard, yeah, that's pretty much how I feel. The only reason I played the last the Terran arc is because I did it as a challenge. If I ever do something like that again, I'll probably put it up as like a channel fund goal. Something like I wanna buy a new processor, and if we hit that goal, I'll go through and suffer through this new content on Elite. Yeah, there have been some good missions here or there. Yeah. Any tips for an Oxterbat Beam overload build by chance? Um, I'd say post your build over on the builds Discord, which I do run. Um, and myself or others can take a look at it and see if there's any, tips we can give you. The builds Discord is linked right down in the description below. There's a ton of channels in there. It's quite overwhelming for some. It's like if you're looking for like let's say you're looking for, in your case, energy weapons, you'd go to like the, if you wanted to post your build, you go to the Beam DPS channel, put your build there. And if you wanted to just ask questions, there's the Ask Questions Here channel, or there's like if you want to just talk about energy weapon builds, channel for that. But this is, this works for any platform. Let's see here. Diablo Immortal has claim all items, and it also has delete all red messages. Oof. Stowe's got some changes it needs to make. Gotcha. Well, I'd also say Fighting Spirit, if you haven't already, STO better, very good resource. I'll include a link to this down below, but they have some really nice guides and some builds that you could follow. But like if you want to just post what you have up on the builds Discord, we can get you some help over there. But I'll include a link to STO better if you want to check out their website. They have a lot of resources on there. And I missed a couple things in chat. On the topic of gold sellers, I'm not going to show it on screen because the last time I did, people got upset with me. But since that video, like, have you guys looked at like player auctions or eBay? Like, the price of a billion EC has drastically went up. Like them, taking care of Starbase 1 seems to have had a significant impact on the botting community and in such gold sellers there. It's been the massive impact. Like a billion EC, if you look back 6-7 months ago, a billion EC on player auctions would have been like $45. Now it's like 75 to $80. It is crazy how that has changed. I just think that they I think in Kale's case, he's probably wanting to focusing on interacting with content creators that are not as negative as I tend to be. Like I try to not go out and be too negative about things, I feel. Like, I'm not going out and saying some of the things that Goss said. What Goss would say was funny. Like he was never wrong. He was always right. Um, with regards to his criticism on the game, but I definitely haven't been that negative, I feel. But I mean, I have been a little bit more negative than some of the other content creators out there, which is probably why I don't have the same level of interaction. For reference, I've sent Kale a number of emails in the past, or at the later part of last year, and I just never got a response to him. So I basically just don't even bother trying to like communicate with him anymore. I just feel like it's a waste of my time. Outside of the 10 forwards, that is. I have played the mission twice now, and it's not the worst I've played to date. Yeah, I've heard that it's an okay mission. It's not the best, not the worst. I blame the elite story run against Wesley Crusher. No. Terrible, Grim. I already know what your thoughts are. We've talked about this plenty of times. Grim here is someone that I've played Stowe on and off with for a very long time. He's a very nice Polish individual. How's the skull throwing going there, Grim? Yeah, console players for Stowe definitely get the shaft even more than PC. Absolutely. I will be honest with you guys. Like I don't talk too much about the console side of Stowe, for a multitude of reasons, but one of those is that I just do not think it's worth it compared to the PC side. I if it were me and I was really wanting to play Stowe, to me the full experience is on PC, and you're just not getting that with console. And that's not like PC master race type talk. It's just that PC gets things for its version of Stowe that triple or that console just doesn't have. Like the console version of the game just feels like a downgrade. And there's also that also longevity. Um, I feel like, I don't think, to be clear, I don't think the servers or the game is going anywhere anytime soon. I think it's going to be around for a very long time. But I do feel like if we ever get to that point where the game is starting to really go into a maintenance mode, I think one of the first things that would get cut would probably be the console side. That's just my opinion, and that's not based on anything that Cryptic has said. To be entirely clear. Current map, marauding. If only my DOF keybind still worked. The 10 forward streams are terrible, yeah. If it's just a Q&A stream, you can basically skip it and just look at the recap later on. There's not going to be anything, probably major that is announced, and if there is, you'll hear about it from the other people who are dedicated and watch it. PCMR. Nicest and most positive poll you'll ever meet? Oh no. Hey Graham, I saw a game and I want to send you you're going to get a kick from this. I know Grim, you're gonna love this trailer and this game, so I'm gonna send you it real quick. I saw it on Reddit yesterday on Non-Incredible Defense. Enjoy, buddy. Goss had a wonderful demeanor and his yeah. Yeah, and Turtle, you're not the first person who I've heard that from. Like I do think that I like again, I have never personally played STO on console, but I've seen the UI and I just don't think I could handle it. With PC, you're able to do so much with the UI and adjust things. Like there I look at some of the builds I run and like the trays you need to do to really set up some of these things, and you're just not doing that on console. I want to get a couple marauding missions done while I'm out. You like that, Grim? Okay, I thought you would. keeps resetting your camera settings. That's weird. The DOF assignments in sector space are by quadrant or by each box here. So if you're doing marauding, if you go to a corner like this, that's you can just move around a little bit and access the next set of missions. These don't really have much rewards, so I'm going to skip them. Does this one over here have anything? Nothing good. Baltic. How's it going? I mean, I did the gambling right at the start, so if you want to watch that, that'll be like right at the start of the VOD. Make you want to throw your PS5 away. I think that, if you are already established on console, I don't see a need to, if you enjoy what you do, if you enjoy the experience, then, keep at it. But for me, my personal preference is the user interface and the flexibility and the unique features that PC has, or its version of STO that console doesn't have. So for me, for like a new player, I would very much recommend if you have a way to just play the game on PC. But if you're already established on console, then you it's the same game. It's just the user interface is drastically different. How do you make it one button, bind everything to the same key? Yeah, you can use something like the STO keybind tool, which I don't think I have installed. I do not. STO keybind. Yeah, you can get like the STO keybind tool here. And basically just use that to create keybinds. I'll include a link to this in chat here if you've never messed around with it, but it's really handy. Yeah, STO can run on quite a few older systems. You don't need to have the latest and greatest for it. Like if you want to play STO in 8K, then yeah, you're gonna need, like a beefy GPU. But if you're playing 1080p or 1440, you can get by fine with a GPU from 6, 7, 8 years ago. Get that installed, but that's it. Yeah, so with that keybind software there, once you download it, like you can just go in and say, hey, I wanna create a new keybind here, so add key. Let's say spacebar. Scroll down and have spacebar if you can hit the right thing. And then I can put an action here and say execute full tray, and then have it go for tray 1. And like if I wanted, let's say I wanted tray 10 to be my spam bar, and I also wanted it to, well, you don't want to do fire weapons on your main spam bar anymore. That's highly recommended to not do that, so I'm not going to do that here. But let's say you want to just, set up execute full tray 10. You could go through, create this keybind easily and go through and do that. And have everything on tray 10, activated by your spacebar. You'd have to keep spamming it to activate all the abilities, but you could do that. You could do, tray 9. Like you could go through and have a lot of things set up on a single key if you want, but I generally like to separate things. Nick, how's it going, man? Haircut? Yeah, yeah. Can't you see it? How'd you know? How did you know, Nick? Not, I haven't had the webcam on in a while because I changed the setup in my room, and I just legitimately don't have a place right now to put a light. Like, I'm gonna have to get a light that mounts to the wall, if I wanna, be able to use my webcam again with good lighting. Defeat Voth on ground. Let's go do that quick. Let me show you guys this OP Magellan staff again. Well worth the 200 lobby. Hopefully that didn't go through. Let me move in the mic there. Yeah, thank you for the membership there, Nick. Dan, how's it going? And there was a question before about whether or not I would consider playing WoW, and the answer is no. I'll play World of Warships, but World of Warcraft probably not gonna happen. Gotta get 10 Voth kills. I just realized like everything here is already secured. Is there another instance? Is. Time to watch. Wow, Grim. The positivity, man. So toxic. Oh yes, apparently Triz is doing a stream later tonight where he wants everyone to bring the NJ out with Slime Devils on.
Your stations. The Voth have returned.
I think the harsh reality is I'm just too casual of a player for a for a while. Dude, I feel like I'm rubber banding like backwards trying to run through here. Oh yeah, this is worth 200 lobby. What a garbage weapon. Not if it's on Twitch. Yeah, as much as I like Triz, it really is difficult to interact with him on his streams on Twitch. It's just the sound commands being spammed really just gets on my nerves. Yeah. But overall, it's just not worth the cost. That this is too much for a ground weapon that does that. Like 200 lobby. Hallowed are the Ori? Yeah. Ball lightning is great. Good bit of marks there. Now it's time to defeat Tholians on Nukara. Happened on the bridge. I mean, it does. Like, I like the visuals of it, but I just don't think it's worth 200 Lobi. Like, I think I mentioned this, but 200 Lobi is almost $40. Like, every time you see someone putting a Lobi console on their ship, you know, that's like $40. Like, Stowe is extremely expensive, and I don't think people fully understand. And that this is I've talked about this before, but that's a video I want to do. Is what does it actually cost to do like a super high end build in Stowe? Because the number is actually like if you're talking like super high end, and especially like record setting type builds, you're talking about a couple $1,000s. I don't think some people really understand that. And then if you do, if you're really getting into that part of the game, and you're also doing, um, like a support and tank build, like those builds aren't cheap. Like even for a support player right now in these high-end runs, like if you don't have the Maelstrom Torp, then you're you're hurting your team. There's a lot of things where it's like if okay, you want to set up a support, well, these things are pretty much like a hard requirement, and if you don't have it, just yeah. Take a P90 and stuff. Yeah, that'd be nice. Do I feel like I have one of the Stargate weapons? I mean, it does sort of look like the Ori staff, right? Yeah, I'm talking DPS wise. If you're just wanting like an effective PvE build, you literally you just go cannon scatter volley. Like you can set up a CSV build for basically free. That'll be good enough for the content. It's just that people hate CSV. People don't like cannons because cannons are not what they saw their ships firing in the shows, and people don't like that. Full on server terminating train build. Yeah, but the thing is, Starth is like there's a lot of different builds that are gonna make things laggy. I mean, if I go in with a 5-player team, like look, remember when the Jupiter Patrol came out and I tried to do it on hard? We took for like 5 of us in and it just lagged all over the place. Like just literally just having 5 geared out accounts together in the same map, it's like the server just can't handle it quite often. Started to ledger on Zen purchases. I have spent like over 2 grand on the game since 2012. I don't want to. Let me. I think I even have this on a spreadsheet. Let me pull up my Excel and make sure my screen cap is off. Excel. Yeah, so I'm at 2200. There we go. This is the amount of money that I've spent on Stowe since I started playing. It's probably not as much as for some of you. It's more than what some of you have spent, and for some of you, it's far less than what some of you have spent. Endeavor is done. What would I say the most immersive firing mode is? I mean, I get why people like, you know, beam overload and surgical strikes for the, you know, for that beam immersion there, but I always thought fire at will, you know, was really good for immersion. And unfortunately, Cryptic has gimped fire at will. Fire at will used to be the firing mode that you used, and they didn't like that the game basically for a while was fire at will online, so they neutered it in typical Cryptic fashion. While Borges was the lead system person there, they over nerfed it in my opinion. Fire at will can still be, you know, effective, but it's not as simple to do as the other firing modes. The most straightforward firing modes are going to be like surgical strikes, fire at will, or surgical strikes, beam overload, not fire at will. I'm gonna die here. Trying to kill this boss. I might die. But yeah, beam overload, surgical strikes, can scatter volley are probably the simplest to run. Um, fire at will, not very simple because you have to, if you're doing the ETM approach, like you have to manually time a torpedo, and it's just such a pain. Yeah, I mean, surgical strikes is only viable if you have the extender trait. Beam overload, I mean, it's the same for any firing mode, right? Is like you really want to have the extender to get the most out of it. Cannon scatter volley's extender trait is, you know, very straightforward, as is the surgical strike and beam overload one. But the issue is they all cost, you know, quite a bit. Even the CSV one, the CSV one you can get for free from the Klingon recruit event. But if you don't want to wait a year for that, you know, you're obviously going to go a different route to get it. You're going to buy one of the ships that has it on it. Give those boffs a raise? Terrible. Yeah, I generally don't like to spend a ton on the game. The only time that I new title Iconoclast, okay. But the year that I spent the most on Stowe was 2021, and that far exceeded, you know, most other years. But in 2021, I spent quite a bit like getting back into the DPS chase there, sent up Torp stuff, and moving my main over to a different character. It was just an expensive year because I was also buying a lot of C-store bundles. So just really buying quite a few ships that year. But most other years, not as much. In 2021, in the later part, I also bought some Zen, which I then used to get a Muds bundle. The only Muds bundle that I've bought so far is the Stealing Time one. And I think that, well, that was a good pickup for me. I haven't honestly utilized it too much yet, but I think the having the Amari, the Temporal Destroyer, and Temporal Science Vessel on account-wide unlock, that's very good for my account long term, and gives me a lot of really nice options because all three of these ships are nice in their own way. I really do like the visual on some of these. I don't like the Romulan visual for the Temporal Destroyer and Science Vessel. I just never was a fan of those, but the Fed one I think looks pretty neat, and the Klingon one also is sort of neat. Should I create a new engineer captain and spend a bunch of money? Oh no, Distant Night. I don't I wouldn't recommend that. I think there's better ways for you to spend your money. Honestly, in your case, I would say to buy the TNG Mega Bundle. That's going to be more productive for your account long term than having an engineer character on it. By the way, I don't know if you guys saw this, but they did lower the price on the TNG Mega Bundle. And what I'll say is, honestly, I could see some people out there justifying the Mega Bundle now. I think it's absurd. I think it's absurdly expensive. But if you watch the lockbox opening I did at the start of the stream, you'll realize that anyone that is seriously going after even just one of the, like the lockbox or promo ship, it would be cheaper for them to buy this mega pack than to try and get one of them through gambling. TNG bundle over 10th bundle? No, 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 no. You still go for the 10th bundle first, but the TNG bundle, I'm just saying I could see some people justify this for themselves because at $250, you're getting, you know, 2 T6 coupons, an epic token, and the 3 ships. I personally would not spend the money on the mega bundle. I'm just stating that I could understand why some people would now with the price adjustment. This night, I just think that if there's someone going for the choice pack, that for some people that they may be able to justify that extra 100 now for the 2 T6 coupons, the epic token, the Lobby. Like when it was $300 for the mega bundle, that was, you know, quite clearly a joke. But you know, I think it's going to depend on the user. But I would say, you know, if let's look at it this way: if there was a pack in the C store that was available for $100 that had 2 T6 coupons, an epic token, 300 Lobby, and 10 ultimate tech upgrades, I think a lot of people would go out and pick that up. So I'm just saying, now that they've done this price cut, that someone going for the TNG choice pack might be able to justify mentally now going for the mega pack because of the price cut. Trying to get a jellyfish. If you want to get the jellyfish, your best bet is the Muds into Darkness bundle. And honestly, that's one of the few Muds bundles where I would very much say that's worth $150. Like if you're really going after those ships, because the Muds into Darkness bundle has one option that gives you 3 lockbox ships, another option that you can get that will give you 2 lockbox ships, and then if you go for that promo ship, that's a promo and 5 lockbox for $150. Red, yes, they changed the base bundle cost for the mega bundle. So now it's $100 more than the choice pack rather than 150 more. I'm debating throwing on the KDF attack wing fighters and breeze versus frigates. I don't know, Sam. I'd say to look up on like Stow Better or look in the carrier section of the builds Discord there. I don't know. I might just be crazy, but with that price cut, if they could follow through and do a similar thing to the other mega bundles, I think they'd be more digestible to people. Maybe I'm crazy though. It's also lots of, we have a 75% sale going on the rest of the mud store right now, so the non-bundle items. How much for an autographed picture of Spencer? I think in general I probably will never do that. And I'm a little bit concerned right now, I won't lie. More than a little bit, if I'm honest. Expensive but tempting. I on the topic of expensive, you guys see the cost of the gold NT from Master Replicas? I imagine they've probably sold them by now, but oh no, there's one left. Look at this. $314. When I looked at this yesterday, there were 5 left, and now there's 1 left. Like, it's cool, but I personally could not justify, 315 bucks for that, or 314. Sab bathwater when? Oh no. I don't know what to think right now. This conversation is leaving me more and more concerned. Okay. I don't know what's happening, but I think we should probably steer into a different direction. I don't know what's happening. Oh no. Okay, I'm going to swap ships. I'm going to swap to everyone's current favorite ship. The IKS George. Mars Pilot Escort, the Deimos. The Deimos has the immolating phaser lance on it, so it's pretty good. Like, it's a good ship, but you have to understand for the ship itself, it's very comparable to the legendary Gemini attack ship. So if you want, a Deimos or a ship like the Deimos on account wide unlock, that legendary Gemini attack ship is going to be better. But if you're wanting to get the immolating phaser lance, then, well, the Deimos is the only way to get it. 2 promo ships for bathwater. That's I don't even know what to say anymore. I'm very concerned. Does the board triple breed? I have no idea. Chadwick, I think it should. If you look at the experimental weapon, if you right click on it, it should tell you if it's affected by like a certain skill. I am out of energy amplifiers. How unfortunate. And I'm almost out of deuterium. No, I've got a few there. I don't have everything on my tray, it seems, so anti-time. Yep. Okay, I'm gonna go into the public queue for Infected Space Elite, because that's what you guys seem to want. Let me just make sure my combat buff is up. It is. Okay. Public queue of Infected Space Elite. Here we go. What did the 20th anniversary cryptic bundle give? It gives, what is it? The Platinum Vandy Shield, Platinum Tardigrade Pet, Platinum Sniper Rifle, and the Kryptonian title. There's the pop. I don't know how this is going to go. I don't know if anyone's got a tank or anything, so if no one's in a tank, we probably are all going to die. But it will be a glorious death. You don't want... I'm just increasingly more and more concerned. I'm running a full plasma setup on this thing. I don't know how it's going to go, but we'll look at the parse afterwards and see. I'm taking the threat. I'm going to die. I'm still alive for the time being, but I am about to die. I don't think we have a grab well. Oh, my flying is so bad right now. This thing is so small. Also going to be like a glass cannon setup, so if I do die, don't be surprised. Peak casual gameplay here, I died. Oh, there's a sphere left alive? Rip. Not that great of a run, but it worked. Thank you everyone for joining that. Let's take a look at the parse and see how that went. I mean, under a million DPS is just immediately disappointing, so... Okay, let's take a look at the parse here. The trait did 133k DPS, the complex plasma fire trait. This is just a random tossed together like plasma build on this thing, so it's nothing too special. The experimental weapon did 69k. I mean, the trait doing 133 is pretty good. Yeah, I mean, everything else like was okay, but it wasn't that spectacular of a run, but it still went well. Terrible, Rob. Oh, I just realized I forgot to have display capture up. Jeez. So I'm looking at my parse without even sharing it. Only 4 misfires, hella impressive. Well, the issue with misfires is that the misfires are not actually it's the window I was just looking at. Closed it. The misfires are not actually like a bug, it's just server performance. It's the network connection between us and the server, or it's something on their hardware. For when doing Coliseum on Elite, for that one I might put up a goal of saying, I want like a, I don't know, the next time I want a computer part Voyager, I'll put up a goal and be like, if we hit this goal, I'll do Coliseum and some other missions on Elite. Is the plasma fire trait the new meta? I think if you're in long duration content, I think complex plasma fire does make plasma competitive. And I think it might be the meta option in really long duration content where things live a long time, personally. Like, I haven't sat down to do the numbers on it, but the thing is the longer you're shooting a target, the more stacks are going to build up from this. And it can really start to hit targets quite hard if you have, several stacks of that proc on the target. So I personally I think that plasma if you're focused on elite content, plasma probably is going to be the meta in some situations, but I still think phaser and disruptor are still, perfectly fine. And plasma and phaser and disruptor are still definitely the best option for content where things die right away. But I think plasma in those longer duration fights is really going to win out with this. I'm using the Viridian plasmas. I've been liking them quite a bit. The Viridian plasmas have a proc on them, which doesn't go off often, but if it does, it's a little bit extra firing cycle haste. Yeah. That was your first infected on that character, I assume, Turtle? Yeah, I mean, I had you at 253k. Yeah. I'll see if that uploaded for anyone. That was an upload for Tomek, Sleepy Turtle, and K-Wolves. Congrats, everyone. Do Coliseum with the Klingon recruit Batlith, and it's hella easy. Yeah, I imagine you could build for it. Okay. Let's see what else is there to do here. For the first what? High. Honestly, it's. I would say find a flavor of phasers that you like the color and sound of and use those, because it really does not matter in most cases. Like if you're on a budget, I still think the crafted pen phasers do extremely well. Um, I did fail to mention in that video that pen is worse than a damage or crit D modifier once you get to like around 100 to 140 debuff in a run. But for most people, especially people just doing solo content, you're not getting anywhere close to that. So if you like the Kelvin timeline phasers, go ahead and keep them. Those are still perfectly fine. Like you're talking about at most like a 1% difference, when you get to like an end game build. So like it's up to you, but if you have a visual of phasers that you like, just stick with them. Yeah, crafted pen. My Excelsior 2, that was using crafted pen phasers and it still does fine. Like I did 1,000,000 with it almost, so don't let Chell hear this. I know I need to do a follow-up on that and talk about the pen stuff a bit more, but I think the reaction was a little overblown. Like I certainly could have clarified it a little bit better, but at the same time, for the vast majority of people, unless you are actually doing super high-end competitive runs, it doesn't matter. Most people don't have that level of debuff in their, solo content or bug runs. So that's why I haven't been like too worried about getting that video done. Rob, you wanted the numbers from the CCA. The over modifier is not great, John. So the thing with pen is that it's at least applying debuff. The thing with over is that it's an actual 2.5% proc basically to give you a single shot of beam overload. Like it's literally just a single shot that you're going to get that hits harder every couple of minutes. So I do want to take a look at over at some point in the future, but it really is not that good, in my opinion. Warp Core, the gambling was at the beginning. What mod is best? I usually, like, most of my weapons are either damage ×4 or damage 3 pens, with crit D / damage as the epic modifier. Do rapid also? Yeah, rapid be even worse. Rapid fire has fallen really far behind in the past couple of years. Let's do another Crystalline Catastrophe Advanced. This is the current Universal Endeavor, so I want to help people get through it. So I'll join the public. Oh, okay. It just instantly popped. I'm sorry, Warp Core. It's right near the beginning. YouTube will probably have spammed a ton of ads in it. So for just to clarify, with the streams, I usually just let YouTube go through and on its own, it will go through and place ads like in the VOD automatically. At times it feels fit, but it can sometimes be super aggressive. What about torpedo mods? Crit D damage for the epic mod and then damage for the rest of them. The reason damage is really good if you're like really working on like a super high-end build is because damage is a final multiplier after all of your other damage buffs. So the more buffs you actively are cycling on your ship, the better it is. If you're not cycling buffs, then crit D, would probably be a bit better for you. But if you're looking to improve your DPS, then making sure you have ability rotations going on would be your biggest option there. Did not mean to go that far away. The ship just moves really fast. Do I mind if people use ad blockers on my videos? I mean, it would be hypocritical of me to get mad about that, because I literally use an ad blocker everywhere. I think it's pretty much required on the modern internet. You know, I'd say if you want to run an ad blocker and you still want to support the channel, then, you know, even just like the low, what is the lowest tier membership? The casual membership like that, and that's a lot more than ads would. Yeah, I flew way too far away there. Like even like another thing too is, I mean, if you have YouTube Premium, that nets more also than like normal ad revenue would. Um, but like even just a channel membership, even the like the $3 tier, that nets a creator or whatever they have their lowest tier at. That's going to net a creator a lot more than the ad revenue would. Yeah, no one likes ads, and YouTube is going to get worse about it. Just keep in mind, like they are, even just recently, there was a thing for for the stream here, where it's now asking if I want to put mid-roll ads during the stream automatically. Like ads are, we've seen how they've gone more aggressive over on Twitch, and I think YouTube is looking to do something similar. I think YouTube is honestly with Chrome doing the manifest stuff. I haven't been keeping up on how that's been going, but I just get the feeling that Google and YouTube are gonna start cracking down on ad blockers here. Yeah, I literally don't watch Twitch anymore. The only reason I go to Twitch is to start a stream up and mute it for the Twitch drops. That's also why I haven't streamed on Twitch since, you know, in a while now. It's because why would I stream there if I don't even bother to watch it anymore? Like the experience sucks so much. Twitch does I well, Twitch is more capped with its bandwidth than resolution. I think if you can do 1440 in that like 6 meg or whatever that it gives you, then you could probably do it, but yeah. Yeah, Twitch I just don't like. I know Triz still streams over there quite a bit, and there are a few other Stow CCs that like to stream on Twitch, but as someone that does also consume quite a bit of media, I just don't use the platform anymore as a viewer, so I don't think it's something I'll spend a lot of time streaming on, you know, moving forward. Yeah. Yeah, I think I have a couple different ad blockers on Firefox right now. Yeah. I I don't know. I hope YouTube doesn't go too aggressive with it. But just know that that's probably going to happen with YouTube. I don't think they'll go as aggressive as they have on, or as what like Twitch has done, but just understand that you're probably going to see more ads on all YouTube content as time goes on. Okay. Let's see here. There was a request for me to do Kittimer Vortex Elite, so let's do a public queue of that. Kittimer Vortex Elite. I've queued up. Ginger S, thanks for stopping by. Have fun. I haven't looked into any of that yet, Axel. For me, you know, YouTube is still in like an income stream for me, so long as it is an income stream, I'll stick to it. So long as they continue paying me. My concern would be with one of those alternative like services would be how would the monetization for creators be? Oh God, stop with the spinning. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah, the way the media market in general has been going, it's not great. Buckets at the ready. I don't have the Valdor console here. Rip. Yep, indeed. I thought the thing was gonna die much faster. It just started. Okay, I'm gonna go to the right side. Stack cube's got 30 something stacks on it. It's got to be taking a good bit of damage there. Do I still use the Excelsior 2? I do use it on a lot of builds still, but I don't have it on this current build. Like, we talk about server performance, and that side of the map is down, but all the spheres and all that warp, warp out the other transformer, I don't think those ever came out. Yeah, this thing, like the complex plasma fires, you start to build up stacks on a target. It really, really starts to do quite a bit. Now, reroute would be really good to have right here. You apply a ton of stacks to her real quick. She's already at like 20 stacks of the trait. 23. So even though she's cloaked, those are going to keep just dealing damage to her. Wherever she went. Yeah, she's taking quite a bit of damage. Like that dot's doing 200 and almost 300k damage per second to her once it really started to stack up. Like it's really quite potent.
The scimitar has been destroyed, but sensors detected several escape pods entering the vortex.
Chrome Nuke, thank you for the 5 gifted. Very much appreciated. Let's see if the YouTube overlay works. Thank you very much. Have to update the list, yeah. Yeah, I'll have to go through and grab a copy of the membership list again. Usually when I go through and do that, so what I would do with that, let me see if I can pull it up. Yeah, so they have like a thing to see all members, and what I'll do is they have a like a download button here. So I just export that to the CSV file and then get the formatting done, get everyone sorted in alphabetical order and all that. So I'll go get that updated after the stream. I want to appear at the end of all your videos. Oh no. Oh no, Voyager. Okay. Let's take a look at the parse from that. But again, thank you, Chrome Nuke. Very much appreciated. Complex Plasma Fire did basically a quarter of my damage. And the thing is, right now, if I was using a Fire at Will build, the damage numbers you would see me getting from this would be nuts. Like the trait is still broken with Fire at Will. And like I said earlier in the stream, they are looking at fixing it. From what I understand, it sounds like it's probably fixed internally now. So in the next week or so, that'll probably be pushed out to live, and the Fire at Will interaction won't be a thing anymore. But you see, with even just with CSV here, like it does really good. Jay, thank you for the membership. Very much appreciated. Yeah, the pilot Corvette from Muds, if any of you are looking for things to get from the Mud store during the sale, like legitimately, the Drysian Corvette's pretty good. The trade on that's popular in PvP, Rhythmic Rumble, and the experimental weapon from it, that's one of the best experimental weapons in the game, and that's available on it as an account-wide unlock there, so The Rising Weather Control Vessel, a little bit more limited, but it might still be good for like an EPG player. Zor, I was looking at that yesterday. From what it sounds like I haven't reached out to them, but I don't know if they've publicly posted a list of everyone that won yet. But they did say on Reddit that they sent out an email today with a list of all names who won codes and video of who won the grand prize. So I don't know what exactly is going on there, but yeah, the Rising Corvette though. I think Brett's on vacation right now, but I think when I talked to him about this, he said Rhythmic Rumble from the Rising Corvette's really good for PvP. If there's a PvPer around here that can probably confirm or deny. I don't know if Turtle's still here, but do I have that on this character? Don't think so. But yeah, the that charity drive giveaway, I don't know if they're intending to ever post the list publicly, but I know they've had a few people messaging them, so I haven't really jumped in so far to say anything. Did they post anything else on Twitter by perhaps? Showed yeah, that's right. You can. You're right. I completely forgot about that. Yeah, Rhythmic Rumble. When activating auxiliary to dampeners or any pilot bridge officer ability, it will give you damage resistance rating and minus weapon power cost. You're right. I've already forgotten that you can view the traits like that. It doesn't give you the numbers from the trait, but from what I understand, yeah, it's like a core PvP trait right now. Um, I don't necessarily think we're getting another Ryza ship. Um, with this recent TNG theme, I hypothetically think that, something like the Temerian Cruiser would, be interesting. Something really iconic from TNG, especially if you look at this recent bundle here, as seen on TNG. I think something like the Temerian would be a bit interesting. And for reference, for what the Temerian is, um, this is the ship from like Darmok and Jalad or whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about. Darmok and Jalad went to Tanagra or whatever. This is the ship from that episode. I think that'd be an interesting ship hypothetically. Oh, increase speed and C numbers. Oh, is it really like I just failing that hard here? Buds, ships. Oh yeah, okay. So I'm just failing. Yeah, so as I move, that's pretty significant. Minus, 60 something weapon power. I mean, it scales up the more you fly around. So if you're sitting still in a PvE environment, they're probably not going to be that useful. But if you're, I mean, if you're going really fast in a PvP or with a beamboat, like that's a pretty good trait, pretty powerful. And it scales based on flight speed. So if you do run into something, it's probably not going to do as well. Your ship has to actually be moving. But the faster you can get your ship to move, the larger the effect is. That's pretty huge. Why not the pack led ship? I mean, that'd work too. There's just something from TNG is what I foresee them doing, and I think, something like the Tamarian cruiser, that would be a fairly iconic ship. PvP is fast. Yeah. Yeah, I sort of regret not getting the Muds pilot bundle. Like I was tempted to be honest. But I think from like a fun point of view, like I know that at the time I didn't have justification to rank that bundle as highly as I did. But hey, good thing Cryptic came and saved me there by buffing pilot up just a couple months later. No, Ryan, I have not heard that. I'm not going to say that name though either. Yeah, PvP can be fun. Now I got to be careful with names. Terrible. Mission failed successfully. PvPu? I don't even have like half the things that you would want, on like a PvP build on this character. I don't even have Invincible, man. I would just die. But like I need to end things here. I've got things to go help the family with, so I wasn't sure how long I was going to stream, but it's been about 2.5 hours, so I'm gonna end things for today. If just a reminder, there's a giveaway going on in my personal Discord. This drawing will happen in 4 hours. Whoever wins, you've got like a week to get back to me. If you don't get back to me within a week, I'm gonna redraw. You're gonna lose your prize. And if you message me like an hour after, after I've redrawn, you're not getting your prize. You've got a week to claim it, so make sure you're attentive to the Discord, because the last giveaway I did for a T6 coupon in there, I never received a response initially from the winner, and I had to redraw. So just moving forward, I'm going to be much more strict about the fact that if you don't respond to me in that initial time period, which I have now extended to be a week long, if you don't get back to me in that week, I'm redrawing and you're not getting the prize. So make sure to keep an eye out on the Discord. That drawing happens in 4 hours, and I will message the winner when they're drawn. So you will have a message from me if you are drawn as the winner. So just respond if you see me message you. And I will be starting up another T6 coupon giveaway probably sometime in July. I'm going to wait for the next C-Store ship to be released before I do another set of T6 coupon giveaways. So yeah, that's going to be it for today. Thank you all for tuning in. I do need to get the members list updated, so we had quite a few gifted memberships today, so thank you to everyone who has helped there. I will see you guys around.